How did work and career go last year for you? Were you able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself at the start of the year? Or are you frustrated or disappointed with what happened to you at work last year? Listen to this passage from Paul's letter to the Philippians and be encouraged. Brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead. As I review my work during the past year, I realized that I had so many goals that I failed to accomplish. Marami akong hindi nagawa. Marami akong binalak na hindi natuloy o hindi nagtagumpay. At minsan, kung pag-iisipan ko lang yon, nakakapanghina ng loob. Feeling ko, failure ako. But Paul encourages us not to dwell on the past. Rather than looking back at the past, we are to strain forward to what God wants us to do. Paul tells us to strain forward. In the original Greek, it carries the meaning of what is required of people training for the Olympics. You have to give it your all. You have to go forward until it hurts. You run with your body bent forward. You have to work yourself through the pain. You must give it every effort, working through the pain, and even to go beyond the pain threshold. Sabi nga nila, no pain, no gain. You have to run until your whole body is aching and you think you cannot go on anymore, and yet you have to keep going. You feel like you're going to drop, but you just keep going. And then, as with most athletes, there comes that second wind, when it seems like you can go on forever. And you can only get there if you work through it, as you agonize through it, as you press on towards a mark, until you reach the prize of the high calling of God. We also have to remember that when one runs for the Olympics, he goes for the gold. There are many people who run a race just for the sake of it, so that they can take a selfie while they're on the way, or so that they can make a social media post of them running in the race. At least they can have the bragging right of saying, I was there in the race. One does not have to finish it, but at least you were there. But what Paul calls us to do is to run as to win the prize. It means you have to give it all you've got. We have not scratched the surface of what God has in store for us, of the work that needs to be done in the hearts and lives of people around us. We have only begun to see the work of God around us. And there's no use complaining about what we failed to do last year. Let us not just sit back and relax. Instead, we must press forward to what God has in store for us in the future. As we learn to run the race set before us by God, as we forget what lies behind, and as we strain forward to what lies ahead and accomplish the goals for our career this year, always remember, faith matters too.